Hi, I'm vinyl pop artist Greg Frederick, and welcome to my studio. Take you on a little tour. Behind me, this is Notorious B.I.G. made out of vinyl records. You'll see that all of my pieces are made out of vinyl records. I live in Brooklyn and a big Biggie fan, so this is of course my most popular piece. Over the summer in June 2013, I became Courtney Love's tour merch designer, my biggest dream come true. This is an example of one of the shirts, and I'm also wearing one. The big one behind me, this is the Rolling Stones, and the biggest piece I've ever made. The background you might be able to see is the paper sleeves that the records come in, and it's all from the Rolling Stones. And then this spooky one is, of course, the Misfits' famous logo, again made of shards of broken records. And then, of course, Marilyn Monroe, made out of her vinyl records. Many people don't remember that she had a few songs released. This one here is Jim Morrison, trying to go for a sort of hippie color in the background. Down below him is Courtney Love with her entire band. I made this while the tour was happening. And this little fellow behind is actually named Bianca, and it's Howard Stern's dog that passed away last year. And this is going into my next art show where I'm going to have a Howard Stern section that benefits North Shore Animal League, which is his charity of choice. Hi, I'm Greg Frederick, vinyl pop artist here in my studio in Brooklyn. Originally am from Arizona, where I lived most of my life until I escaped when I was 18 to move to London and study photography, which is my passion growing up. I always wanted to be a music photographer and stayed in London for 5 years, moved to LA for 2 years, and then came to New York and was really trying to push for my music photography career. Trying to find ways to market myself as a photographer, I started printing my photographs to canvas, trying to be a little extra special than just doing prints. From there I felt just the canvases weren't enough, so I started putting glitter, random objects, anything I could find in the street of Brooklyn. And one day I found a small box of sharded up 45 records, so I brought them home, started chipping them away, adding them to the canvases, and then one day I had my aha moment and decided, let's take away the photograph and just use the vinyl. And from then on out, I've had an art career. I've always been a music lover. Growing up, I wanted to be a music photographer, shooting bands, one day getting that Rolling Stone cover. So it was a nice transition for me to move to the vinyl records, which I just felt came naturally. And I love the idea of, not the idea, but how media breaks down artists to build them back up in the media. And I feel somehow I do that with my breaking of their own vinyl records and building them back up to be something glorious again, but chipped and worn away. The process of making my art, besides finding a subject I want to work with, is breaking the vinyls, which is a great stress reliever. So whenever I'm having a bad day, come home, break some records, and make some art. The best compliment I get is, wow, your work reminds me of Andy Warhol's, which I love to hear that, and I can see the similarities from working with iconic images and celebrities and pop culture figures. But somehow with mine, I like to think they're almost a 3D dimensional pop art piece, along with being somewhat of a sculpture. With my artwork, you really have to see it in person, because I just feel photos don't do it justice, to see how the light hits the vinyl, to see how the vinyl overlap with each other, see how much it comes off the canvas, and how it really is a sculpture. I've been a Courtney Love fan since I was 11. My mom would say I've been obsessed. Always been fascinated by her image. I think if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have wanted to be a music photographer. I started taking photography classes when I was a freshman in high school. That was about, I don't know, many years after becoming a fan. Then early this year, 2013, I was interviewed in the Wild magazine, who their last question was, what is your wild wish? And I said, my wild wish is to design Courtney Love's next tour merch. From then it sort of sparked a fire underneath me, especially hearing that Courtney wasn't going on tour again. So I quickly made a video, a time-lapse video of me painting this design actually, of the God Save the Queen of Rock, and put that online saying, for your consideration, Courtney Love, through the Hole and Courtney Love Facebook fan group. I got a lot of people to tweet to Courtney to get her attention, and through a mutual contact got her the video. She seemed to like it, so she asked for me to send her more of my designs, which I sent her over a dozen. She liked all but one of them, and ended up having 3 shirts on tour and 2 limited edition screen prints, which has by far been my biggest dream come true. Courtney is amazing to work with, and can't wait to work with her further. The second best thing to happen to me in my art career, next to becoming Courtney Love's tour merch designer, was befriending the Emersol Hughes Company, who produced and directed the Hit So Hard documentary about Patty Schimmel, the drummer for Hole. And the guys from the film were so nice to me and loved my artwork that they commissioned me to design portraits of all the members of Hole minus Courtney. So Melissa Oftemar, Eric Erlandson, and Patty Schimmel, where I went to Melissa's event space at Basilica Hudson, and where they were having a premiere of the movie Hit So Hard. And after the premiere, after the Q&A and a small performance, I went up and presented my art to the band, which is just unbelievable to me. A week later, they were in Brooklyn for another premiere, and the guys from the movie invited me to the after party and told me to bring my camera. And at this event was the only Hole reunion ever, including Courtney. I was the only one to videotape it, and through my marketing ideas, I decided to name the video Hole Reunion shot by superfan Greg Frederick. And the next day when I woke up, my name was in Rolling Stone, Press Hilton, Spin Magazine, every major music news outlet for being their #1 fan, and still am to this day. Courtney's always been an inspiration for me in so many ways. Her creativity, she knows exactly how she wants her image perceived, from the artwork to her dedication. I remember reading her diaries, Dirty Blonde, where she would list, when she was younger, everything she wants to do in her life, the people she wants to meet. And years later, when that was actually published, once I read that, she actually made that all happen. And so I started doing that and making things happen for myself. Her creativity, her dedication, her strive, her love for multiple art areas, from music to film to books to modeling to fashion, is just pure art and creativity, and who can't love that? The first time I heard Howard Stern's name was when I was 4 years old, after asking my uncle and my dad, who's Howard Stern, after they talked about him all the time. Many years later, I started listening myself, and probably now I listen to him more than I listen to music. He's also a big inspiration for me, as he's a huge animal lover. Him and his wife Beth Stern both do charity work for North Shore Animal League, which is the largest no-kill animal shelter in America. So part of my next show, I'm having a Howard Stern section, which will feature 10 portraits of people related to the Howard Stern show, and 100% of those proceeds will go to the North Shore Animal League to help build them a new, basically big room facility for all the cats don't have to be in cages anymore. And as I have 2 cats, that's extra close to my heart. At art shows, I get to meet so many amazing people. One in particular that comes to mind and to my heart is Christine Nagy, the co-host of 106.7 Light FM with Bob Bronson. I met her at my last solo art show. This was my first in Roxbury, New York at the Orphic Gallery. I remember people were talking a buzz of this girl who was there, and I was trying to sell a piece of art, and then this girl comes up, she's like, "Excuse me, did you make that Howard Stern?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are you a fan?" I'm like, "I'm a major fan." She's like, "Oh, me too, let's talk. And since then, we have been amazing friends. She's one of the nicest people you could ever meet. I am very proud to announce my very first solo gallery show in Manhattan, happening December 5th from 6 to 8 at Medoma NYC Gallery in Hell's Kitchen. There will be many celebrities and great people to meet and fun art to look at. Hope to see you there.